Okay, welcome back for part two. So yeah, so I would joke with my friends like, this man take my headaches away. But like seriously, I was serious but jokingly. But he just like, oh no, so I was about to dream. So I started like I would have dreams about him. But the dreams will always be like such beautiful dreams. They will always be such beautiful dreams. And I wouldn't think nothing of it. And that's when I realized God was telling me that this is your spouse. But in the midst of it, in the midst of having them dreams about him, I would like, in the midst of us talking, I was talking to other guys because we're not together. I talked to other guys or whatnot, and like when I would have dreams about these guys, it would always be I would have nightmares, and I don't even have nightmares. I don't like really have nightmares like that. But I walk like when I certain guys, I would have nightmares, and God have shown like it will eventually be revealed to me. It will be like God showing me who these people truly are, and it would show true. Like it would show that it was real. Like this is who they are. Like it would come to pass. Whatever. Like it would come to pass. Sorry, I had a text message, but it would come to pass that these people, like these people, is no good. It's like this is not who God have for you. But I would, but with my kingdom spouse, out of 6 years, I have never had a nightmare about this man. Never. It's always so good. And I even question, like, can I control my dreams? Like, am I controlling my dreams to see him in a beautiful light? But I'm past that. That's not what it is. So yeah, like how did so that's like how I really was able to recognize and see. It was just like God will always be confirming that this is my kingdom spouse. Like, and then like even recently with COVID going on, I can get away. If somebody sneeze around me, I swear I'm sick. I swear I think myself into being sick. But recently I was with him, and he he kept saying how he was cold, and I figured he was coming down with something, but like I figured he was coming down with something, but we're like in each other's face, and then the next day he ended up telling me like, man, I'm sick as a dog. And I'm like, oh, okay, but it was something in my spirit like, you're not gonna get sick. And I didn't get sick. I didn't catch whatever he had. It was just like I was good. And that may be a little far fetched, but it's just like when God is in something, He's gonna keep you protected. And then another thing, like even I hope he don't ever watch these because I don't share this side. I don't tell him these things because I don't want him to feel like I'm weird. But even with like his home, is I have never met a man whose house I can go in and feel like peace or feel like I never met a man whose house I can feel like I can move in and don't have to do anything but just bring me, my son, and my clothes. I feel like every man house, and most women may feel like this, every man house that I have ever been to, I'm gonna have to change at least one thing in a house to make myself feel like home, like I'm at home. But with him, I feel like I'm at home. I feel like he's home. Not even just his house, but just the peace that I feel. Like I feel so protected. I feel so at peace. Like I never feel any worry. I feel so at peace. Like I feel like he's not my protector, but well, once he become my husband, he will be my protector. But I feel like this sense of peace. I feel so protected. I feel so at home. I feel like, and then he treats me so good when I'm in his presence. Like, I don't know. And I just be wondering, like, is this you with everybody or is it just me? Like, I don't really, I don't be trying to think about what he do with other women, but I'm just like, I wonder, is this just how you make me feel? Am I the only person that feel like this, or do other women feel like this about you? Like, is this just who you are? Like, I don't know. But yeah, so I just be thinking to myself, like, what is it? Like, is this, what is he doing? But I just be thinking to myself, like, the way I feel is, I have never, like, the peace I get from him, I have never gotten that from anybody else. Not saying that people don't bring me peace, but it's like a peace, and I don't want to compare him to God, but it's like the peace that our Father give us, like just him in nature. Like, it's no chaos, it's no, the energy is so uplifted, this energy is so beautiful, like the spirit, like his spirit is just so beautiful. And then, like, another thing, it's just like I can be thinking things and he do it, like even with his home, y'all. Now I hope he don't ever watch this video, because he gonna think I'm a crazy woman. He gonna think I'm crazy. I ain't trying to move in on you, sir. I'm not trying to just move in on you. But y'all. So me and my sister was talking one day, and I hadn't been over his house in a while because we had like a little falling out. And me and my sister was just talking one day, and we was just talking about like what we wanted when we purchased our home, like what features we needed. And I said this to my sister. I said it really don't matter about the house. I just need me a smoking room in my house. I said I don't need nothing else. I just need somewhere where I can smoke my cigars. Now I've been going to this man's house for years. Went over there like a couple of weeks after telling my sister this. Y'all, I tell y'all no lie. This man built a smoking room on his house. I never mentioned this to him. This man built a smoking room on his house. He been smoking in his garage since I've been knowing him. He built a smoking room on his house. I never told him I wanted this. And this was all I needed in my home. But mind you, I said his house was already like prepared for me. Like, well, not, I hope he don't ever watch these videos, but I had already like said how his house, I can move in his house and be good. But like I told my sister, the only thing I need in a house for me is a smoking room. That's something I love doing. I enjoy smoking my cigars. And he built on a smoking room in his house without me even telling him. So how do you identify your kingdom spouse? First off, how you get God to show you your kingdom spouse. I don't think I did this because I didn't know anything about a kingdom spouse or ordained spouse at the time when I met him. But now I do, and now I can say this. But what you do is, first and foremost, you ask God to reveal your kingdom spouse to you. Ask God to reveal your kingdom spouse to you. If you don't know who your kingdom spouse is, ask God to reveal your kingdom spouse to you. Second, ask him, when he revealed them to you, ask God to confirm it, that it's your kingdom, that's your kingdom spouse. That's your kingdom spouse. That's your ordained spouse from him. And keep asking God to confirm it. I mean, he will confirm it over and over, whether it's just with a simple yes or if it's a simple no. Like, he may, every time you meet a guy or every time you meet a woman, God, is this my kingdom spouse? He may just simply tell you yes, or he may simply tell you no. And you do that until he gives you that yes. Or he may show you through your dreams. And you just ask him to confirm that it's him speaking to you and telling you that this is your kingdom spouse. And then one thing I do know about the kingdom spouse, they may not intentionally bring you closer to God, but just that kingdom marriage union is going to bring you closer to God. Like, I never prayed so much in my life until after I always been like really into God. I always been into like the, reading the Bible and things like that. But I never prayed so much until I met this man. I never like wanted to grow and get to know God until I met this man. And me and him, we don't even really talk about God like that. But just wanted to know more about him, and just wanted to know how to be a wife, and just want to know how to be a woman. It makes me want to like grow with God, like grow. It makes me want to get to know God better, to get to know how to not cherish but honor this union that God has brought together. It makes me want to, yeah, it makes me want to, yeah, honor. It just makes me want to know how to cherish, like protect this blessing that God has brought together, and protect this union. So it just brought me closer to God. It brought me to just wanted to know God more. Um, your kingdom spouse, they give you peace. It's peace. But let me tell y'all, a lot of times I hate the saying when they be like, God is not a God of confusion. If you understand everything that's going on in your life, you don't need God. I'm sorry. I don't believe in that. God is not a God of confusion. Because anything that I knew God did, I have always been confused about it before it happened. Like, I may not have understood why that happened at that time, but eventually, like, I won't. It is like I won't understand why it happened at that time, but then eventually I realized, okay, this was needed for this reason. So as far as, don't let nobody ever tell you, oh, it's not, like, God is not a God of confusion, because God do things in a way that He need to do it. Like, I know my kingdom spouse and I, we had a lot of falling out. Like, we wouldn't really, it wouldn't be like any big blowouts or anything like that, but we would separate. We had a lot of time of separation, and with the separating, it was like we needed, now I know, back then I did not understand. Now I know we needed that to grow. We needed that to grow. Like, a lot of these, we needed that to grow, whatever. And a lot of things that like caused the separation, God needed to bring those things to light so that we can deal with those things and solve the problem. So you may find yourself going through a lot of confrontations, probably with your kingdom spouse or with other people, but you will see yourself going through those things when it comes to meeting your kingdom spouse. And it's not because it's not your kingdom spouse, but it's because God needs you to learn from those situations. He needs you to learn and understand what is going on. I mean, like, just to learn, so that when He do bring y'all into a kingdom marriage, all those problems, all those things that could have been taken care of, be already taken care of, and now it's not that big of an issue. And now you know how to fight. You know how to have disagreement without chopping each other head off, or without really bringing each other down or tearing each other apart with your words or anything like that. What else how did I identify my kingdom spouse? They will confirm that God told them as well. Now, would God tell them at the same time? I don't know. I can't say when God would tell them, but, and they may not even be direct and say, God told me this, but you'll know God told them. You'll know that God told them. God will have them tell you some kind of way that it was like they know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, my kingdom spouse ain't never just said, oh, God told me you was my wife. He always used to say, I'm gonna do it, but let me do it on my time. And I would just be like, but I would never ask him, like, are you gonna marry me? Or I would never say anything like that. I would never say anything about marriage. Well, now I do. Back then, when he would say those things, I was never saying anything about marriage. But he would always say, I'm gonna do it, but just let me do it on my time. And I'm just like, what? Like, but I never said anything or whatever. But now I do be like, look, what you trying to do, brother? Because look, that clock is ticking, and you better get X'd out. But yeah, what else have I noticed with the Kingdom Spouse journey? Man, it's a headache. It's a headache, y'all. It's not easy. It's not easy. Like, it's peaceful, I must say. Like, even though this have been the most stressful thing for me, but as far as, you know, how they say God to send you through something, God didn't ever say we wasn't going to go through anything. He just, I don't know how to say it, but it's like God sent us through stuff, but you're not going to be hurt or you're not going to be broken by it. Like, you may be hurt, it may hurt you, you may feel it, and it may be the most hurtful thing you feel, but as far as like the physical, you don't come out looking like what you have endured. Like, you don't come out looking broken, you come out stronger. Like, my best friend made a good point. One thing, men have been giving me money. Every boyfriend I have ever had since the 3rd grade, and I always say this, every boyfriend I have had since the 3rd grade have given me money or did for me some kind of way. My boyfriend in the 3rd grade, he knew he better make sure he brought my ice cream money every single day so I can get my ice cream. And ever since then, every boyfriend I have had have done for me. This man has done the least amount for me. And but my best friend made a valuable point. Even though he did the least amount for me financially, he did the most for me. Like, the growth that I have made since knowing him is like, wow. Like, the woman that I have become just by knowing him and just learning from us is beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, it's beautiful. Like, no money can buy the woman that this relationship has brought me to. No money can buy that. And every relationship that I have been in, I can't say since the 3rd grade, but serious relationships, I have left out not feeling fulfilled, feeling full. But if I had to walk away from my Kingdom Spouse today, I can say that relationship made me whole. I am whole. I am whole. The lessons that I learned, the things that I went through has made me better. It has made me better. Whereas other relationships, I had to rebuild from it. Since knowing my Kingdom Spouse, I have grown. I have grown since knowing my Kingdom Spouse. It's been increased. It's been nothing but growth. It haven't been falling apart since knowing him. It's been growth. It's been growth. It's been elevation since knowing him. And it's not even from him, but it's just, that's the effect on it. And yeah, I think I identify how you can identify your Kingdom Spouse. So there it is. I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload another video. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll talk to y'all soon.